Responding to questions of the parliamentarians on the budget, Prime Minister Pushpakumar Dahal earlier today has expressed commitment of including the participation of the House members in the budget development process from the coming year. Good evening, I'm Prarambha Dahal. Let's begin with the main stories. Budget endorsed from the Parliament through a physical vote for the first time. 147 in favour of the budget against 108. Government support reduced at the House. Court grants 7-day custody against 4 arrested in alleged involvement in Lalita Niwas land scam. Min Bahadur Gurung found to have grabbed 29 rupees of land. Development models of almost 7 decades being discussed. Government gearing up to present new model for 16th five-year plan. Experts criticize working methods. And Lebanon progressed to the semi-final of the SAF Championship, sea off the Maldives by 1-0. Bangladesh secured a 3-1 win over Bhutan. The budget presented by the government for the upcoming fiscal year has been endorsed after a long discussion at the House of Representatives. In addition to that, the budget was endorsed from the House through a physical vote for the first time. After Finance Minister Prakash Charan Mahat responded to the questions on the budget, Speaker of the House of Representatives Devraj Khimire announced of endorsement of the appropriation bill through voice votes. However, main opposition CPN-UML parliamentarians expressed concerns over the voice calls and demanded for physical voting. Regulations of the House of Representatives has given the right to the parliamentarians to demand physical vote even after voice vote. Based on this arrangement, the budget was endorsed through a physical voting for the first time. A total of 147 votes were received in favor of the budget against 108 votes. Parliamentarians of the ruling coalition Nepali Congress, CPN Maoist Center, Janata Samajwadi Party, CPN Unified Socialist and Loktantrik Samajwadi Party voted in favor of the budget. CPN-UML, Rashtriya Swatantra Party and Rashtriya Prajatantra Party, among others, voted against it. All arrangements of the budget, excluding merging election offices with district administration offices, were endorsed without amendment. Considering the disagreement among the ruling parties, CPN-UML had demanded a physical vote. The ruling parties had issued a whip to their parliamentarians to vote in favor of the budget. Parliamentary support for Prime Minister Pushpakumar Dahal, who was enthused with the support of 268 parliamentarians while generating the vote of confidence for the first time on the 10th of January, has reduced by the time of endorsement of the budget. Having generated almost 100% trust vote, Dahal's majority support was saved by 10 votes today. While receiving the vote of confidence for the second time on the 20th of March, Dahal had generated support of 172 parliamentarians. Having lost the support of 25 additional parliamentarians, Dahal's support has now been reduced to 147. Chairperson of main opposition CPN-UML KP Sharma Oli has also criticized the government in relation to the votes. Government Minister has also accepted the fact that the budget was a litmus test for the government. Janamat Party, which has extended support to the government, has also voted against the budget this time. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Pushpakumar Dahal has expressed the commitment of including the parliamentarians in the budget development process from the next year. He said that a task force would be formed to include the recommendations of the parliamentarians in the budget. Responding to questions related to the Office of the Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers, National Planning Commission and the Office of the President and the Vice President, Prime Minister Dahal in today's meeting of the House of Representatives said that projects facilitating implementation of the budget would be selected. Claiming that national economic indicators had improved in the 6 months of the formation of the government, Prime Minister Dahal said that the government under his leadership was prioritizing good governance. Premier Dahal said that the government was working with the objective of taking actions against those involved in the fake Bhutanese refugee scam, loan sharks and those involved in the Lalita Niwas land scandal. He also expressed the commitment of establishing the fact that no individual or entity is above the law. Responding to the questions of the parliamentarians, Prime Minister Dahal also claimed that students had received their textbooks while farmers were provided with fertilizers on time this year. He also said that additional 3% citizens had received access to electricity this year and a basis was prepared to provide electricity to everyone as well. Prime Minister Dahal also claimed that public service was gradually improving. It is now time for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
Before we ask today's question, let us take a look at the result from yesterday's poll. Yesterday we had asked, what should be done to raise the standards of education at 3-1 University? 9% were for A, implement the academic calendar, 18% were for B, improve curriculum, and 73% were for C, end political interference. And now, here is our today's question. What do you term the parliamentarians not participating in the discussions on the budget? Your options are A, unaware of responsibilities, B, lack of expertise, and C, an issue of personal decision. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B, or C, and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. The issue of mafias grabbing the land near the official residence of the Prime Minister in Balotar, Kathmandu is currently at the court. Now, police has been investigating the Lalita Niwas land scam for the past 5 years. Now, despite investigations being halted for the past year and a half, police has resumed required probing and has been allowed to carry out investigations with a 7-day judicial custody of 4 individuals arrested for their alleged involvement in the infamous scam. There was a total of 287 rupees of land of the government near the official residences of Prime Minister and the Chief Justice. However, there is not a single piece of government land left other than 114 rupees over which the government residences have been made. Police is investigating those alleged of grabbing the land of the Lalita Niwas with the involvement of land mafias. One of the persons alleged of involvement in the scam is the operator of Vatuteni supermarket, Min Bahadur Gurung, who was arrested yesterday. Gurung has grabbed 29 rupees of land by colluding with Shobhakanta Dhakal and Ram Prasad Suvedi. Based on the conspiracy of the mafias, Gurung presented 8 fake tenants to grab 29 rupees. Based on investigations, Gurung had begun presenting fake tenants from the 10th of June 2004 until the mid of January 2005. On the 22nd of December 2004, Arjun Mahajan had received 828,000 rupees, Tirtha Mahajan got 600,000 rupees, and Shaila Mahajan received 1 million rupees. These are fake individuals as tenants. According to police investigations, a total of 7.6 million was paid to 8 individuals, also including Joglal Mahajan, Nuche Mahajan, Sanjay Kumar Mahajan, Lakshmi Mahajan, and Kansa Mahajan to grab the 29 rupees of government land. Gurung has kept the ownership of most of the land with relative Sarala Gurung and himself. While a few of the fake tenants have already died, a few others have already identified themselves. Police has alleged Gurung of forgery and creating fake tenants of government land. Meanwhile, 3 erstwhile government officials were also arrested for their involvement in the scam. Investigations have shown that Sudhir Shah of the Revenue Office had received 5 rupees of land, while Gopal Karki had vanished the file of 112 rupees of land 31 years ago. Dharma Prasad Gautam is also alleged of converting the ownership from the erstwhile His Majesty's government to Guti 38 years ago. Gautam is found to have taken 3 rupees for his involvement. Police is also making efforts to reach others alleged of involvement in the scam. However, police faces a strong challenge in returning the 128 rupees of land to the government and ensure actions against those involved by making the investigations more productive in the case, which has remained incomplete because of political pressure. Planned development began in Nepal 67 years ago. A total of 10 5-year plans and 5 3-year plans have already been implemented in the country. During this period, goals related to poverty alleviation and sustainable development were pursued. The annual budget, which began with 50 million rupees 72 years ago, has now begun figuring 1,700 billion rupees. Despite the 6 decades-long efforts for planned development, the nation is yet to witness real transformation. Now, questions have begun surfacing regarding the development mechanism embraced by Nepal and the political leadership and their intent. Despite being economically backward, Nepal is rich with natural resources. Given the smaller geographic size, development should not have taken much time or effort. However, in relative comparison to the pace of development of South Korea, Singapore and Malaysia, Nepal's development is very slow in pace. As a consequence, Nepal is being counted as a nation which exports its human resources. Even after reaching the 15th 5-year plan, Nepal is yet to cross the benchmark of basic development. 67 years after beginning planned development efforts, politicians have begun arguing if our development model is correct or flawed. While Prime Minister Pushpakamal Dahal is calling for a break in the development model, there is no clarity about whether he means changes in the budget schedule and calendar or identifies the significance of development-related principles. In his responses at the Parliament today, Prime Minister Dahal spoke about improvement required in the budget development process instead of highlighting the development model. Based on the directive of the Prime Minister, the National Planning Commission is assessing the 15th plan and is making preparations to introduce the 16th five-year plan in 7 months. The Commission is making preparations to present a new model of development in the 16th five-year plan. While Prime Minister and National Planning Commission Vice Chair have been identifying the need for change in development model, experts have identified problems in the willpower of political leadership and working mechanism of the government officials. The gold jewellery is being reinstalled at the Pashupati temple by fulfilling the rituals. The jewellery was earlier taken out for inspection following speculations of corruption. The Pashupatinath temple was closed for pilgrims after the special puja of 2 p.m. today. The temple premises has been vacated. According to the Pashupati Area Development Trust, the jewellery, which was kept at a locker in Rudragareshwar under the security of Nepal Army, is being reinstalled after required repair and sanitation works. Human resources were called in from India for the repair work. The jewellery is being reinstalled in the presence of the representatives of the Commission for the Investigation of Abuse of Authority (CIAA). Special worship is to be performed for 3 days following the reinstallation of jewellery. Security arrangement has been bolstered at the temple premises. According to the Pashupati Area Development Trust, the jewellery is to be reinstalled by late night tonight. The Nepal Rashtra Bank had purchased 107.93 kilograms of gold at an investment of more than 800 million rupees for the gold jewellery at the Pashupatinath temple. The CIAA has been investigating allegations of irregularities during the process of installation of the jewellery. Jack Ma, the founder of the technology conglomerate Alibaba and once the richest business leader in China, is in his unofficial visit of Nepal since yesterday. Ma had arrived in Kathmandu in a Boeing 737 MAX chartered aircraft of Hong Kong business jet. According to police, Ma is staying at the Hotel Dwarika in Batisputali, while the cabin crew is staying at the Marriott Hotel in Naxal. Ma visited a few places of Kathmandu yesterday and today. According to police, he has not requested for security from Nepal. A few Chinese nationals had visited the Kalimati fruits and vegetables market today. However, whether Ma was in the team has not been verified. As of June 2023, Ma is the 4th wealthiest person in China with a net worth of $34.5 billion and 39th richest person in the world as per the Bloomberg Billionaire Index. Ma's Alibaba had acquired Daraz, the e-commerce platform popular in South and East Asia, some 5 years back. Ma, who arrived in Kathmandu via Dhaka of Bangladesh from China, is understood to be leaving for Lahore of Pakistan from Kathmandu tomorrow. Now, in our Public Voice segment, we have asked in several provinces what they think of the government processes in selecting development projects. Let us now take a look at what they had to say.
Public Voice.
राजनीतिक हस्तक्षेप अनि त्यसपछि अलिकता हुने खाने वर्ग बोल्न सक्ने व्यक्तिहरुको पकेटबाट योजनाहरु बनाइन्छ
सुझाव लिएर त्यसमा उनीहरूले विकासको कार्यहरु गर्नुपर्ने अवस्था हुनुपर्नेमा उनीहरूले आफू मन परि हैन गरेको यहाँ देखिन्छ
जसको पावर पहुँच छ उहाँहरुले मात्रै यो कामहरु पाउने गर्नु भएको छ
भेला गरेर बसाएर छनौट गर्ने प्रक्रिया हो तर यस्ता कार्यक्रमहरु कहीं पनि सुनिँदैनन्
नगरदेखि लिएर प्रदेश स्तरसम्म आउँदासम्म चाहिँ त्यो योजनाहरु चाहिँ बीचबाटमै बिलाउने किसिमले त्यो बेपत्ता भएको अवस्थाहरु चाहिँ हामीले भेटेका छौं
योजना छनौटको प्रक्रिया छ जुन सिस्टममा आफैमा राम्रो छ
एकदमै झन्झटिलो छ
जस्तो 1 करोडको बजेटको सही काम हुन सक्दैन के तपाईको जम्मा 25 लाख रुपैयाँ जतिको काम हुन्छ त्यो बीचको प्रक्रिया छ नि त्यो प्रक्रियाले झन्झट प्रक्रिया छ
आफ्नो मान्छेहरुलाई अगाडि राख्ने पैसा खानी पैसा बचाउने मात्रै काम भयो जस्तो लाग्छ
छनौट गर्नको लागि प्रक्रिया सँग मात्रै प्रक्रिया मात्रै जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई
परम्परागत तरिकाहरु अपनाइदै अहिलेको अवस्थामा पनि विकास निर्माणका जुन कार्यक्रमहरु छनौट गरिन्छ
वार्डबाट निर्णय भएर आएको हुन्छ माग गरेर आएको हुन्छ त्यो अनुसार कहिले पनि पूरा भएको छैन
छनौट प्रक्रिया ठीक छ तर कार्यान्वित प्रक्रिया ठीक छैन
विकास छनौट गर्ने बेलामा नै आफ्नो मान्छे र आफ्नो जुन पार्टी सत्तामा छ जुन आफ्नो मान्छे छ र उसलाई मात्रै अब यो विकासको क्रममा हुन्छ
कुनै पनि योजनाहरु उपभोक्ता र सम्बन्धित त्यहाँका बासिन्दाहरूलाई लाभान्वित व्यक्तिहरूलाई थाहा हुँदैन
खबरै नगरिकन योजना छनौट गरिन्छन् र कार्यान्वयन पनि गरिन्छन्
Sports news.
Lebanon have secured a 1-0 win over the Maldives and progressed to the semi-final round of the SAF Championship. With 9 points, Lebanon have become the first team to progress to the semi-final stage of the SAF Championship. Even a draw would have been adequate for Lebanon to move to the last four. Lebanon had applied pressure from the very beginning of the match played at the Kantipur Stadium in Bangalore. Hassan Matuk scored the only goal of the match in the 23rd minute. The Maldives had created a few opportunities to find an equalizer in the second half, but they failed to convert their chances. With the win, Lebanon finished atop the Group A standings and progressed to the second round. They will now play India, the runners-up of Group A, in the semi-final round. In another match played today, Bangladesh saw off Bhutan 3-1. That is all for the moment. Up next is the news in Nepali. Thank you for staying with us. Goodbye for now.